Was I the next victim? Was what I constantly asked myself as I walked the halls of my high school. Was my shoulders going to offend someone, or was my shorts going to be a few centimeters off from being acceptable? These are the questions teenage girls have to ask themselves and worry about before leaving the house in the morning. Shouldn't students just have to worry about their academic responsibilities rather than the attire they are wearing? According to the National Education Association, when school dress codes discriminate, published by Kira Barrett on July 24th, 2018, she states, at East Longmeadow High School, Massachusetts, 6 out of the 9 dress code regulations targeted female students. I want to inform you all what is happening to high school girls when it comes to dress code. There are 2 reasons why girls are being negatively impacted by sexist dress codes. 1. Female students end up viewing their bodies in a negative light, and 2. Dress code discriminates against females. First, female students end up viewing their bodies in a negative light based on what clothing they can and cannot wear. School dress code makes a female feel ashamed of their bodies and the female parts they were blessed with. Why should those body parts be viewed in a negative light when they are a beautiful thing? In high school, all over the country, female students' bodies are called out and looked at as a distraction by school staff members. We female students can't be a distraction to males in the classroom. That's what we are told. It is never the other way around. Females are never told that a male can't be a distraction in the classroom to girls. By these actions, schools are prioritizing a male student's education over females. Schools end up over-sexualizing the female body. By pointing out certain things about the female body, you're only drawing attention to it when it could have been avoided in the first place. Shoulders are looked at as in a sexual manner. With that being said, I cannot tell you how many times the joke, "your shoulders are distracting me," has been thrown around by male students. It is so ridiculous that even the boys find it funny and overboard because a shoulder in most cases isn't sexual, but the schools make it out to be. There are a few rules I would like to go over and share with you all. The fingertip rule, where a girl's shorts have to reach or pass where the fingertips meet when their hands are down at their sides, and sometimes it is absolutely impossible to find clothing that meets these rules, especially being on the tall side. The 3-finger rule is used when it comes to tank tops. Your straps have to be 3 fingers wide to be acceptable for school. The ruler under the leg, before heading into school, they would have a school staff member check in between a girl's legs with a ruler to make sure they are a certain length. For a young teenage females, clothes are often a symbol of expression. By putting all these sexist rules in place, schools are stunting self-expression for females. As stated in the article, Are Dress Codes Fair by Scholastic Choices, February 2019, they state, our outfits are never considered distracting. They're more like an inspiration for other kids to step out of their comfort zones and express themselves as well. Females are held to the standard of having to look sexy, but if you look too sexy, you're called a slut. In the classroom, teachers get to pick and choose when they think you look too sexy, which I believe is calling a girl a slut without actually saying it. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is when girls start to view their bodies in a negative way. Secondly, dress code discriminates. Male students aren't held to the same standards girls are. Boys can get away with breaking the dress code when, if a girl does it, it's looked at as a sin. Boys can have their shoulders showing with no problem. Their pants could sag with their whole boxers hanging out, but if a girl has her underwear sticking out, there's an issue. Their pants can be skin tight. Meanwhile, leggings are banned from girls wearing them because they show too much. Shirts can be low for men. Since men don't have boobs, it's totally okay if they have their chest hanging out. Guys' muscles can be showing, which is looked at as sexy in females' heads, but it's fine for them to show a sexy part of their body. If a teacher dislikes a certain student for whatever reason and has it out for them, they use and abuse their power to target them. They get to pick and choose what students to dress code. Many of the time, I would say the same few girls get dress coded by the same teachers, but there would be tons of other females wearing far worse attire than the ones they were picking on. Female students often miss time in the classroom due to dress code consequences. Girls are sent out of the classroom to the principal's office to either call home for a new change of clothes or sent home altogether. This is time a girl can be learning. Instead, she's stuck trying to find new clothes. Schools often cover for a male student's actions. To avoid negative reactions by male students, females have to cover their bodies. Why should a woman have to cover up to avoid negative reactions from the opposite sex? If a male acts out, the girl is blamed for their actions, being told you shouldn't have been wearing that in the first place. Females suffer and boys don't face the consequences. Girls don't want to hear the excuse anymore. Boys will be boys. Jordan Silman Goldstein, author of Do Dress Codes Privilege Boys' Education, published on June 11, 2018, writes about a personal experience. The administrator made Martinez put on an undershirt, put band-aids over her nipples, and requested that she move around for them, presumably to see if their handiwork had succeeded in hindering her breasts from the world. In conclusion, female high school students are being negatively impacted by sexist dress codes. This is what is happening to girls in high school when it comes to dress code. As a review, female students view their bodies in a negative light based on what clothing they can and cannot wear. Females end up feeling shameful of their bodies, being called a distraction, over-sexualizing the female body, and prioritizing boys' education. Dress codes discriminate. Boys can break dress code when girls can't. Girls are a target for school staff, and females missing valuable class time and being the ones to blame due to male students' actions. This is an inside look at the life of a female high school student and the challenges they have to face with sexist dress codes.